This is one of those word problems where we need to create two right-angle triangles and do a couple different trig ratios in order to solve what the problem's actually asking for. So what we're trying to find is the distance from the campsite to the tower, this distance here, which we will label as x. And you can see I've drawn a little purple triangle there to help. Now the problem is that the only information we know so far of that triangle is that we've got this angle of 55 degrees. So in order to solve for x, we need more information. So what we're going to do is use the other triangle, this narrower one, sorry, where we have this angle of 72 degrees, and we know this distance, this horizontal distance is 400 feet. Now, since we know two pieces of information in this triangle, we can use a trig identity in order to solve something else. Now, what would we solve? Well, we would solve this vertical distance here. We'll call it y. And why are we doing that? Because that y distance will be the same as the y distance or vertical distance in the other triangle. So, which trig ratio will we use? Well, we know that we're dealing with this angle of 72 degrees. What we're looking for is the opposite side length, and we know the adjacent length of 400. So which trig ratio involves opposite and adjacent? That would be the tangent ratio. So tan of our angle, 72 degrees, is going to equal the distance opposite it over the distance adjacent. So that would be y over 400. So in this case, to solve for y, all we got to do is take 400 and multiply it by tan of 72 degrees. And calculating that out, we'll get, well, I guess it'll be a rounded answer of 1,231.0734. Now back to this purple triangle. We need to figure out which trig ratio we're going to use first. So since we're dealing with the 55-degree corner, we know the opposite distance. We just figured that out. And we're looking for the hypotenuse. So which ratio involves opposite and hypotenuse? That would be the sine ratio. So let's write that out. Sine of 55 is going to equal our opposite distance, which is what we just calculated, 1,231.0734, over our hypotenuse, which we need to figure out. So we're calling that our x. Okay, now in this case, to solve for x, we are going to take 1,231.0734. Sorry, got a little messy there. And divide that by sine of 55. Calculating that out, we get a distance of 1,503 feet. And that is if we are rounding to the nearest foot, which is what they'd like us to do. All right, that would be it for this question, and thanks for visiting JD's preparation.